Um, yeah, I mean, you see how, you see how your background plays a big part in what you teach your students and how you pass it on. Now, I'm a teacher. I was a teacher for many years. I still feel once you're a teacher, always a teacher. You're also an educator, a teacher. We've taught from elementary school all the way to university level. So I think our approach to jiu-jitsu and the way we teach is quite different than just a straight competitor
Right.
who now is a black belt and now has a school and is now teaching jiu-jitsu versus a person who likes structure, who likes a system, who understands how to evaluate and assess a student, who understands the psychology of the student, what it takes to be. Because like studying under you was different, because we used to have these intellectual conversations, and it was a little bit different because I'm a few years older than you. So for me, I had to, not that much for difference, but still the age, that number is there. And so it was always like, okay, we're still on a really good friendship basis. It wasn't like, you were 30 years or 20 years older than me. We still had a really brotherly friendship, and we still do, of course. But when you were teaching, I had to take myself to that student level, and I had to break that number down and say, man, this is my teacher. And I have to listen. You would tell me stuff. By the way, when I was a purple belt,
Okay.
that was the roughest time of my life. I was going through some dark, dark times, as you know.
Me too. Wow. Amazing.
And you told me something. You said, man, you're going to remember each one of your belts, what you were going through in your life at that belt.
Yes.
So if you could think about what you were going through as a blue belt, how your life looked. Purple belt was the worst for me. Like,
Yeah.
Purple belt was like, and did you ever get to a point where you wanted to quit jiu-jitsu? Because for me, I never got to that point. But I have to say the thought came to my mind, what if I stop here? What if I just stop here? I'm a purple belt, man. Like, I'm pretty good. And I said, and I erased it immediately, and I never ever went back to that thought because I knew, those type of thoughts are not good, and they'll just get into you. Even though there, what's going on in your life, you think, man, maybe I should put it on the shelf for a while. Maybe I should stop. I never really had the idea of stopping or even quitting jiu-jitsu. Of course, it popped in my head for a second, but I can never say that I really wanted to quit jiu-jitsu. Did you ever have the feeling that you wanted to quit?
Only one time.
Okay.
And me and my cousin, we both shed tears about it. And that was, we were ready. Again, we had tapped so many blue belts or white belts.
Okay.
And there was a seminar, and there were so many people. And man, I was putting away blue belts in front of this world champion. I was bam, 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 tapping them out. And the guys that I put like 5 taps on one guy in front of this guy. That guy who I did the taps on, he left with a blue belt. I didn't.
Oh, wow.
At that point, I knew some of this, and I never mixed this thing, but it was business.
Okay.
This guy paid for like 3 privates. He put a lot of money in the guy's pocket.
Yeah.
The guy was, so it was business. So we like, wow, we love the art for the
That was
pureness.
the first time you saw it.
Yeah. When I trained all the way up to brown belt, I never thought about even being an instructor or having a school or doing these things. It was for me.
Okay.
It was a personal journey, and I loved it. And so when you were the first face, like you said, that I seen when I came to Qatar. You helped bring me there. You were entering my emails. You were facilitating it. You took care of me. You set me up. And so I never thought about that.
Yeah.
So I was so used to being comfortable watching my instructor, Master Tyrone, that and other great instructors that I train with, that I was just like learning and relaxing and growing. I never thought about just giving it back.
Right.
But
Okay.
but they prepared me so well
Yeah.
that it's amazing the route they took us through.
Yeah.
We used to have a dojo on 8 Mile Road where Eminem is from.
8 Mile Road.
8 Mile Road.
Really?
And I'm from Ann Arbor, so this is the suburbs. This is an hour and 10 minutes.
Detroit.
It's past Detroit a little bit, 8 Mile. So
Okay.
it's like a suburb of that. And so I would have to travel an hour and 15 minutes speeding in snow
Yeah.
to actually train 2 hours. And then sometimes it'd be only like 3 or 4 people there. I didn't care. Here, sometimes in my school, people are like, oh, it's only a few people came today. No, it's your personal journey.
Yeah.
I said, for me, it's great because now I get a private lesson with my instructor.
Yeah, man.
It's a private now.
Yeah.
It's better that 50 people don't show up
Yeah.
because we're there for ourselves. So
Right.
I digress. So that's,
Okay.
you know.
No, that's good. That's good information. Do you? And this is not to talk bad about people, but we're just having a conversation here about just attitude in general. As we get older, you know, I'm almost 55 this year, inshallah, and I know you've crossed 50. You're 50 now, right?
Yeah.
You're 50 now.
Yeah, just now.
Yes, half a century. So we've got a little bit of we're on the elder side now, and we see the younger generation coming up. Do you see, and it's not to talk bad about the younger generation, because obviously our generation talk bad about us, right, and our shortcomings, but do you see like a shift in the hunger, or do you see the shift in the willingness and the desire to really learn jiu-jitsu the way it can be absorbed? Do you see that, or is it still there to some degree, or do you see, is it, I don't know, what's your opinion?
Man, you know, like you said, social media has a big play on it, and so people want to make their portfolios.
Okay.
I don't know if they're for, like, getting married or dating. Right. They want to show I do jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
It might be once a month, but they're gonna put it on Instagram. They're gonna Snapchat it.
Right.
They're gonna Snapchat the gym.
Jiu-Jitsu's trendy now.
Trending.
Yeah.
So they're gonna Snapchat the gym or CrossFit. They're gonna Snapchat jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
They're gonna
the ice
Snapchat
bath.
a cup of coffee they're having with a nice little
the ice bath.
The ice bath. And everything's about recovery.
Right.
And so
recovering from what?
Yeah. A guy will come to the gym, workout gym, and do like 20 minutes, man, get a protein shake. He needs a massage. I was getting on one guy. I says, man, you went 20 minutes, you want a massage? You train once a week, you went and got a massage? So this is the generation that we in. But now you do have some people who are serious, who are taking it very serious. I mean, here, when the Emirates, I've seen.
Yeah, these guys, they put in the work.
I've seen the development.
Yeah, these guys.
I was around. You were around with, and I talked to him and Jordan about this at the West Asian Championships when I went with Qatar, and that's Faisal Kitbi.
Yeah.
Faisal Kitbi.
Yeah. Shout out to Faisal, man.
Faisal, yeah.
Good brother.
Beautiful brother. Yeah. We had a nice conversation, and I've had students who fought with him, done amazing jobs. Shout out to Wolf, Abu American, Craig Little. Yeah. So Faisal Kitbi, I seen him from a blue belt develop all the way to a black belt.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing thing is he won the Abu Dhabi World Pro as a brown belt, and he had the biggest honor. The Amir here, Mohammed bin Zayed, he came and put the black belt on him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, man, it doesn't get any bigger than that. You know, if you're in Qatar and you win a brown belt division and Sheikh Tamim puts a black belt on you, it doesn't get any bigger than that. Imam bin Zayed came in the platform, and he actually used to come. I'm talking about Mohammed bin Zayed. He actually used to come to the jiu-jitsu tournaments. In 2009,
I remember.
He came and stood right next to me. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And he was shaking the fighters' hands. It was actually outside on a tennis court, the first World Pro.
Yeah.
I think it was 2009 that we went.
I remember that.
And it was a tough tournament. And I didn't know the level. I was like, wow, why is there so many people in the bracket? Why? This was a world championship.
I remember that.
Our first tournament as a group.
I remember that.
was a world
It was
championship.
outside.
It was
on the
outside.
tennis courts. Yeah.
Muhammad Hafi, shout out to him. He did a very amazing job. He went through one whole page of a bracket, but there was so many fighters in there. He didn't even medal and won like 5 fights. So, you know, shout out for that. So we come a long way since then. We've had, including yourself, we've had about 7, 8 members, including myself, who medal in Abu Dhabi World Pro. Now, Abu Dhabi World Pro is the first or second highest ranked tournament in jiu-jitsu. So you took a silver medal at the brown belt, I believe.
Yeah.
Laurent
Yeah.
from France, he took a gold medal at the purple.
Yeah.
You had a guy, Imran, he
won.
took a silver medal at the
Kevin
purple
won as
belt.
well, okay.
Kevin, myself, silver. So there's many. Kevin Johnson, the American, he took a bronze.
Yeah.
Okay. They had a white belt division at that time. He won like 5 fights to get a bronze.
Yeah.
And so there's many. Sergey
Sorry.
from Ukraine.
Yeah.
He was a purple belt and he won bronze medal. And so there's been so many. My son Ibrahim, I can't forget that.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the Abu Dhabi, the blue belt, he won a bronze medal. So we got about 8 guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's an amazing thing for an independent team
yeah.
like ours.
Yeah, we would
without
just
government funding.
it was
Yeah.
bootstrapped. Everybody,
Bootstrapped.
let's
That's it.
everybody pay your fees this month, man, so we can keep this thing going.
Yeah,
You know?
that's what I'm saying. I mean, we
yeah.
had some Grand Slam title winners, double gold, Kevin, Camille.
Yeah.
These guys have been on the stage. Camille, IBJJF, Europeans. He medaled at purple, and he medaled at brown belt.
Yeah.
So this is an amazing job from Camille. He had and then in the other tournaments, he had a total of almost 20 gold medals.
Yeah.
So this is one of the coaches that we have now.
But people don't really understand, like, this is from a small country like Qatar who, you know, there was no jiu-jitsu there.
Less than 1 million people.
There was
at the
no
time.
jiu-jitsu there. We started with nothing.
Yes.
We just started training. And now, if you go back to Qatar, I don't know how many schools are there now. I mean, you probably have 10 schools, maybe?
I think more.
Maybe 10.
Maybe 15 now.
15 schools. Many black belts there.
Yep.
Tournaments there.
Yep.
Professional tournaments coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Safe to say thousands of people now who train jiu-jitsu, kids classes, women's classes. I think some women black belts even around in Qatar now. So it all started in our bedroom, in a spare bedroom in our villa, bro.
Wow. It's amazing.
We'll never let that go.
No. Yeah,
I'm proud of that.
And you shouldn't.
I'm proud of that.
You
to
should
see
not
how that has gone. I mean, the actual kids classes, my son Osama and a bunch of other brothers who used to bring their kids. Wolf used to bring his kids.
Right.
And we used to put them over on the side and just let them fight while we trained.
Yeah, and I think a gym. I think I seen the gis and stuff.
There was no kids class. It was like, you bring your son, I'll bring my son too. Okay. They would sit in a circle with the men, they would watch the technique, and they would just do it on the side.
Remember.
And that's how it was.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And of course, alhamdulillah, Osama ended up he won the junior World Pro.
Yeah, see? So that's another one on the list. I remember that because I posted that, I think, too.
Yeah. So man, it's been a long journey. One final thing before we go, I want to talk about burnout, because that's a real thing in jiu-jitsu. And I think some people, obviously, and we got a few more minutes, obviously injury will put you out of the game, but also burnout. Mental burnout. Have you ever seen people burn out on jiu-jitsu and just like walk away from it, or suffer from like too much pressure from jiu-jitsu and just give up the game and never get back on the mat again? Because that's a real thing.
Amazing question.
That's a real thing.
Wow, that's multidimensional. It's a nice question because I've seen it all in regards to that. We had a student as of recent, a year ago. He had too many expectations. He's a white belt.
Okay.
And we asked him, hey, don't jump in this tournament yet because you're not totally ready. Let's wait. He said, no, I want to go for it. Then he brought his family. That's a whole nother level of pressure. I tell people, look,
Oh, yeah.
your first termers don't bring your wife, don't bring. This guy brought his cousins.
Oh, man, he brought the whole band, the whole
and
tribe, huh?
then they set him up with a guy who should basically be a blue belt. He's sandbagged. He's an MMA fighter. He's out of Canada. Wow. He's in top shape. And so they set him up in the front. I said, come on. So, and this is some of the games that go on. But anyway, this guy lost. He quit jiu-jitsu. He quit. So that's one burnout, having too much expectation for yourself. Jiu-jitsu should be most people use it for a release from burnout.
Yeah.
You only burn out, I think, when you're trying to like chase belts, or you're trying to chase fame, or you're trying to chase the wrong things. I think you have burnout. Jiu-jitsu was usually a place of like tranquility and relaxation for most people.
Brotherhood.
Yeah, brotherhood. Yeah, where you take that stress out.
Okay. We're going to talk some more about the mental side. I think that's going to come up again in the future. But right now, we're going to cut it short.
Okay.
I appreciate your time, Professor Ismail. Anything else you want to mention before we go?
No. I wish I would have thrown a question at you that could segue into a whole nother thing. I wanted to ask you a question. And that is, one thing about the combat martial arts, they have a statement. They said, and I tell my students this when they complain, I said, the day you wake up and you feel no pain, it means you're dead. So it's like a joke.
Right.
You always going to have a finger that's hurt, or a toe that's hurt, or a knee, or a neck. Sure. And so, the side of mobility, the side of recovery, these are things that you have put with your jiu-jitsu as an expert. And I want to know, how important do you think that is for people to know about these things and actually try to implement these things to improve their jiu-jitsu and their life?
Right. Oh, yeah. So, man, we can talk about this all day. The most important thing is people don't realize, I think people underestimate how much damage jiu-jitsu actually does to your body. They underestimate that.
Wow.
Any sport is going to put some wear and tear on your body. And no matter what you think, no matter how much you love baseball, how much you think you were born to be a baseball player, you were born to be human first. You were not born to get a ball and throw it 10,000 times at a glove. That sheer one-way movement, overuse, repetitive motion all the time is going to do damage to your body. If you're not doing something to counter that, then you're losing. Same thing for jiu-jitsu. We're in a sport where you have to protect your joints because our opponents are actually attacking our joints.
Exactly.
People are attacking our elbows and our knees and our ankles and our neck and our spine.
Wow.
So what are you doing to protect your joints that are being attacked? So even if you never go to a tournament, even if you don't, you're going to get good at jiu-jitsu, you're going to do some drilling, you're going to do, 1,000 arm bars at some point. If you want to be a black belt, you're going to do hundreds and hundreds of. Is your elbow ready for that? And if not, you're not going to make it. Right. Or you might make it, but you're going to crawl across the line. And the object of jiu-jitsu, in my opinion, now with the knowledge that I have, it's about longevity. It's not like Chris Halter said. It's not who's best, it's who's last.
Yeah, that's right. That's a fact.
Can you still train when you're 60, 70, 80 years old? Can you I still want to be on the mat when I'm 70, rolling around, teaching, having fun, playing around. Can you do that? Right. And if you can't, then there's a sweetness that you're going to lose, because if you've put so much time into a sport, 20 years of training something, and all of a sudden you're too broken to practice it anymore. Man, you want to carry this thing to the grave, right? You want to play this thing. So in order to do that, you have to protect yourself. You have to have a game plan, a mobility plan running in the background, a maintenance program. Okay. You don't just get in your car and just drive it until the wheels fall off. That's true. You gotta change the tire. You gotta change the brakes. You gotta change the oil. You gotta replace stuff.
Windshield wiper fluid.
Right. But it's not about waiting for it to fall off.
Oof.
It's about maintenance.
Okay.
If you got a car, you're going to buy a Lamborghini. These guys got these Lambos here and these BMWs and stuff. They take their cars way before they wear out. Bro.
Okay.
They don't wait for the tire to fall off.
Right.
Because it's an investment. Your body is way more worth more than your car.
There it is.
So you gotta have a preventive program, not a react. Don't be reactive with it.
Okay, let me ask you: does that require? Excuse me, supplements? I'm talking about omega-3s and like, will you at a certain point put something together for grapplers? For this maintenance, like where can they get this information?
Yeah, I'm working on a platform for myself.
Okay.
I'm working on a platform that's going to be, a piece of it will be dedicated to grapplers. We'll talk about, I'm big on recovery. I'm big on preventive stuff. I'm big on maintenance because, it's coming. It's coming.
Okay.
Because now the sport is evolving so fast. And it's not about, you can never avoid being injured. If anybody tell you this will prevent injury, they're lying. You can never prevent injury. All you can do is mitigate it.
Okay.
Meaning you can have a body that's prepared enough to where when it happens, because for example, the other day, my knee, I twisted my knee.
Yeah, I remember you called me and told me.
Doing Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
I wasn't worried because I know I train my knee frequently. It didn't feel good. I woke up the next morning, I couldn't bend my knee, but I know the protocols of how to get back on the mat. That was a Thursday. By Monday, I was back rolling again.
Wow.
An average person who doesn't train and their knee hasn't had any type of input and stimulus and intensity of that level in the training of the knee, when their knee meets that intensity on the mat, it's going to pop. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
So for me, it was more like, okay, that went a little bit over the line, but my nervous system was like, okay, no problem. I got you.
Okay.
And I did it. I rehabbed it, and I was back on the mat in the 40. I think that would take somebody probably a month, a regular person.
See, and
a month.
Akil, not to cut you, that's what I'm saying is like, even the thing that we're doing with the fast track secrets, which now you can actually get that on a new platform that we have, bjjfast.com. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I was getting on you a while back. I said, Akil, a lot of people don't know the secrets of things, even in jiu-jitsu, but even in training. I said, look, the guy Chris Bumstead, this is the best bodybuilder, one of the best ever, actually. I seen the guy doing the mobility drills that you sent me to do.
Yeah.
There's another lady who won the Olympic, she's a Harvard grad.
Oh, yeah.
Won the Olympic gold medal. And people don't know this is the secrets they're using. They think, oh, we just go to the gym and let's work muscles.
Yeah.
Maybe you can talk about a little bit about this lady. She's a gold medalist. I seen she did the mobility.
McLaughlin.
Aha.
Yeah. Her coach is my teacher.
Wow. Her coach is your
coach
teacher.
is my
Wow.
teacher. Yeah, I've learned from her. From him.
Wow.
Hunter. Yeah, Hunter Cook. He's my teacher.
Wow.
Yeah. We're gonna close out this episode. We got a lot to talk about. As I said, man, we grabbed the mic and we start talking.
Yeah.
Because we got so much to talk about. Thank you for coming to Dubai.
Always.
And we're gonna see you really, really soon. We're gonna get together, and we're gonna keep this going.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep this going, brother.
Last thing I'll say, and then we're gonna get out of here too. I thank you, and this is something we'll be doing on a regular basis. This is a unified effort. I want to bring on when we talked about jiu-jitsu and kata. The last thing I'll say, one of the top guys who helped this vision as well is Jamie Watkins, Haythum.
Oh yeah.
So it'd be good to get him to come on here.
Yeah.
We did it through the SFQ business he had.
Yeah.
He sponsored us
Yep.
for these World Pro victories.
Yep.
And so we got to give credit where credit is due. So
he was always behind the scenes.
Yeah.
He didn't ask for anything.
Yep.
He he was a brother in helping us. He believed in us, supported us, gave us a facility
There it is.
to build world champions.
Yeah.
Basically.
So, and last thing I'll say is, like I said, so I felt like you guys brought me to Qatar. So any success that I have is your success. I'm like on a mission. You guys put me there, and I'm trying to make you guys proud. And that's
you've done that, brother.
That's what I'm trying to do.
So we're gonna finish off with that. Thank you very much, and absolutely, we're gonna continue this, inshallah. Yeah. Take care, brother. All right, Sonic. That's that friend.
Okay.
All right.